It seems like you didn't want to die. You just wanted the pain to stop.
I want to fucking die, brother. I want to fucking take my own life. Let's be honest. Yes, I wanted the pain to stop, but I didn't want to deal with this shit.
You were bottling everything in, and the only solution was to eliminate yourself from everything going on.
I was so delusional.
You're just going to be this radiating ball of disgustingness that will bring and attract disgusting onto other people and potentially ruin other people's lives if you just don't heal yourself.
I love you guys. I love you guys.
Who are we here with today?
Well, thank you for coming to my home. I'm Jarek Tadla. I'm Polish immigrant. I moved here 33 years ago and I live my life in Florida. And I share my journey right now because, as you guys know, you've read my book, I'm in real estate.
Yeah.
Retired years ago. And I found myself on the end of the road 4 years ago and almost took my own life. And I share my journey. And that's why we're here.
Yeah, you spoke about that a lot in your book, Not Enoughness.
Yes.
And you spoke about, despite having a large amount of success, still battling a lot with the mental health aspect of things. Let me ask you this, as far as your own perspective is concerned, would you say that the success that you had kind of served as like a blanket that covered your problems and all of that pain you actually went through?
Absolutely. Well, that's exactly it. So what happened is, because I was looking for the validation from outside sources, from outside validation, from outside world. So I was chasing the trophies, chasing the money, and the more I chase, the more trophies, the more buildings, the more millions, the more winnings, the more I have. The distance between the outer world and the inner world was so big that I finally broke.
Yeah.
Because there is nothing outside that can give you the happiness. When you broke it inside, and what happened is it was like I sedated with work. I was a workaholic. I was completely workaholic. And then from workaholism, I went through workout to alcoholism because I started doing Ironman. So then I started training, 80, 100 hours a week. So I always was escaping reality because I didn't want to deal with my own shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? But if I'm good outside, like if you look at me from the outside, like when I almost took my own life, I cannot imagine what people would be at the funeral. It's like, this motherfucker had everything. By the rules of society, I had everything.
Yeah.
But I was empty inside. I had zero. I have this big empty hole that I was depressed. I was broken. I was miserable. I was crying inside. I was a little boy that wants to be loved with all those freaking millions of dollars, all those properties, all those trophies, all those successes, all these awards, and I'm nothing. Mm-hmm. And nothing out there could bring me fulfill the hole. Until I start building my shit. So life happened from inside out, not from outside in. And I was chasing in order to validate my own feelings, emotions, and love. But the problem is I did not love myself because I was addicted to myself. The way I was talking to myself, my inner dialogue, you didn't want to be inside my head. And that shit finally catch up with me. And now, by the way, I'm recovering depression-holic. So I'm a fucking addict. That's it, brother. I'm an addict. And then I know about it and I want to use in the good direction right now. I want to help guys. I want to help, like my son is 14. I have daughters that are 12, 18, 21, 22. I want to help younger generation. Don't go after all the shit that people are telling you to do.
Right.
Do what you want to do and what you want to do in your heart. Because by the rules of society is, guys, the social media is a gift and a curse. Yeah. Right? So like I will do a podcast, we already talking about it. I want to tell them like all the cheat codes. Right. People look at the picture, how well you build, and then, and with the money, with the cost, but none of that is true. Because we're showing up all the good stuff and then we compare ourselves. Yeah. If I get that, I'm gonna be happy. Motherfucker, you're never gonna be happy if you don't get the happiness within. Mm-hmm. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. But we're chasing. But the chasing, the journey is the life. Right. You know what I mean? So
there's one thing a lot of young people struggle with today, and that's constantly comparing themselves with social media because it's bigger than ever. TikTok, everything is consuming everyone's life. and they constantly live in this state of trying to chase what people post online, but people don't post what's actually going on in their lives. They post a perception of themselves that they're trying to portray to everyone else, what I believe is a way to convince themselves that they're happy internally. So all these people are chasing these external images of what's being portrayed. They don't know what's real, they don't know. So they have this constant level of comparing from the outside. Now, back then, social media wasn't as big from when you were starting to come up and you were going through all your struggles, but did you find that you had yourself of always comparing to other people and that's why you weren't happy, or was it just a void in your heart that you kept trying to fill?
There's two things, what you just said. Yeah. Two things. I was avoiding myself, number one. Look at, I'm getting goosebumps. Completely, 4 years, until I was 46, 40, until I have a ski accident, I was completely avoiding myself. Completely. Yeah. And then, yes, I was comparing myself, but what happened is I was always inspired by people to do better than me.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean? So there's a jealousy and enviness, okay? I was like, I want to say the good envy, because the jealousy, like I was inspired by others, and I thought when I get there, I'm gonna be happy, you know? And I realized when I get to the top, you know, I'm not happy. Yeah. It never was what I always thought what it is. It was not outside, it was truly inside. It's truly inside when I sit with myself. Like right now, I'm 53 years old, and I can tell you, more is less. Yeah. And it's like, Jarek, shut the fuck up. Like, you have everything, shut the fuck up. Like, don't be a hypocrite. Yeah. But believe me, more is less. You know what I mean? Like, I sit on the beach and it's like, fuck, like this is like, you know, like that's what I wanted. Yeah. But it's nice to chase, but it's nice when you build, like, because we are the biggest asset. Yeah. Like, you know, I wish I built this imperium first versus the imperium. Yeah. This is like the and feed the love, feed the energy, feed the connection, and awareness, and the conscious level, and the faith in you, faith in God, the resilience, the persistence, like all this shit, not outside. Not another deal, you know, not another million, not another 10 million, not another 100 million, not another home, not another car, not another jet. It's not another yacht. Yeah. It just, fuck. It lasts, truly, all that shit outside, it truly lasts, I want to say, 10 days, a month. You know what I mean? It's like taking like, you know, when you're drinking, or like, you know, I used to drink and take drugs. So what happened is, it took me to combine the pills and the alcohol to get high for like 15, 20 minutes. And then I get the highs like, shit, I love it, right? Now I get high without anything for 3-4 days. Like, fuck, I'm on the highest high. And it's like, this is, like, I want to share this shit. I want to give the pill. Yeah. You know, the pill is truly within you, and you just constantly, you know, have the energy to do it. Like, I know I want to live another 140 years, but I want to live the 140 years in this energy I have. Yeah. You know, I don't want to even live another 20 years if I want to be able to be in the bed and be miserable and be overweight and be, you know, having, you know, depression or anything like that.
And I think the unfortunate part is that for, you know, most parts of society normalized, right? And I'm gonna touch on a few things that you just mentioned. So one of the first things I wanted to touch on is what kind of both of y'all mentioned. So you, on one hand, you were mentioning about the portion of, you know, you're not really living for yourself. You know, you're living for others, comparison, whatever the case is. You were talking about how you weren't truly in tune with yourself. And, you know, there's something that Tony Robbins talks about, and it's always about fulfillment. Because he always says success without fulfillment is the equivalent to failure. So you had success, but you weren't truly fulfilled. You had success, but you were still empty inside. And it's almost like you're chasing after this idea of success because you think that that's gonna be the cure-all and the answer to your problems. But the thing is, I always say you could put a blanket over your problems, but eventually you're gonna have to get in bed. And when you get in bed, you're gonna have to lift that blanket up and realize that those problems are still there. So trying to escape them doesn't mean that it's going to, you know, inevitably just go away. It's gonna eventually catch up to you. And from what it seems like, based on what you're telling me, you talk a lot about how you have always been a people pleaser. You've always wanted best for other people. But sometimes what that does is that comes at the cost of your own sanity, comes at the cost of your own mental health. And you have children, right? You have children. We spoke about, your past relationships, your current relationship. And from what it seems like, you probably put a lot of pressure on yourself because you're like, I need to build something for these people. I need to build something for this person. I need to just work. I need to do this.
So I can prove myself, so I'm loved.
Exactly.
So I'm like, the more I give, the more I'm loved. And it's a bullshit story. If you don't love yourself, nobody's gonna fucking love you.
Right.
It starts from within.
You neglect yourself.
And neglect yourself for others. And what happened is your kid's gonna love you, and your wife and everybody else gonna love you a lot more when you love yourself. We give different frequency, and when we constantly trying to please other people, it's gonna drain you. You're gonna truly end up empty, like me at the age of 50. Empty, having everything that you can ever imagine, and being empty inside. Empty, nothing to give, because you were giving, and there's suddenly no more to give. Can you imagine, like me, I realized at the age of 50 years old, I was always making fun. I keep telling the same story about the oxygen mask on the airplane. I made fun of those people. What do you mean, the oxygen mask goes on my kids first, my wife, my parents, my grandparents, somebody in the plane, on the end of the aisle, all there, like she needs more, and then I give it to myself. Dude, I'm getting goosebumps. Fuck no, brother. Me first. That's being selfish. Yes, sometimes we need to be selfish. In order to help others, you gotta be full. You gotta fulfill yourself. You gotta have a purpose. You gotta have the bucket full so you can give it to. Now I give people energy, life, inspired, and I don't even know I do it. Right. Like my friends always like, dude, like right now, it's not like taking them on their front seats, on the NBA game or flying my jet to somewhere. It's like, they don't give a fuck, Jarek. I want to be with you. We can go on the beach and just talk. I just want to connect.
Nice.
But if I could not connect with myself, I could not connect with anybody.
Correct.
You know what I mean? My first wife told me, it's like, dude, I don't give a fuck about the money. I want you. It's like, yeah, whatever, because you have money. Second wife, same thing. Then the kids. And then the third wife goes like, dude, this shit's gotta stop. I want you. I didn't know what it means. What do you mean you want me? You got me. No, you're never present. You're never here. You're always chasing. You always go somewhere else. And I have to go, everything they were programmed. Like our parents didn't know what to do. Our grandparents didn't know. They did the best they could do. I'm a child of 5. I'm at the conscious level and I still fuck it up. I was just telling the story on the podcast. I still fuck it up like a week ago. It's we will do it. And we heard the children. And then the children hold the children. And the children have the children. And it's like, now you have a daughter, right? 2 years old, right?
Correct.
If you don't heal you're gonna give all this shit to your daughter. Now, you love your daughter. She's your love of your life. You're not gonna do this consciously. But you're gonna hear this shit 25 years from now. Dad, you fucked this shit up. You were not present. You were not loved. You did not listen. You did not care. And you're like, what? I did everything I could. So it's my parents. But we all heard by our prior, parents or grandparents, but they did not do this purposely.
No. And I certainly agree with that too. And I kind of want to talk about something that's a little bit, that cuts a little bit more deep, right?
Sure.
Because you brought it up as soon as we started filming. And I kind of want to unpack it a little bit because I feel like this is very important, especially to men. Men and women both have their struggles. There's a lot of silent struggles that men go through that they don't speak up about, right? So a majority of the suicides are normally by men. You mentioned 4 years ago you were in that position. You almost committed suicide. You said it was on your boat.
Yeah, they're both right there.
And
almost put it the last because I figured it's the easiest death.
Right.
I carry so much pain in me that I didn't want to suffer anymore, and I thought it was the best solution.
What made you get to that point? There's a bunch of things that pile up on you where eventually you get to that breaking point. What would you say created and caused that breaking point for you, where you found my solution right now is to take my own life?
I try everything. Work, I try sports, I try workouts, I tried marriages, I tried women, kids, I tried alcohol, I tried drugs, nothing worked. The only problem I did not try, I didn't want to face my own fears. I didn't want to face my own inner dialogue. I didn't want to face myself, my pain. I tried to do everything to avoid it. That's why I work shit out of myself. That's what I work out, like, that's what I chase money. That's what I try, then I try with alcohol, with drugs, with everything else. And none of the stuff worked. Until I have to just stay still. When I mean no sedation, when I mean by sober, not running into work, not running into the gym, not running into the alcohol or any of the, just sit still and just figure your shit out. And I was like, wow, that shit is painful. Like, no, this is not true. No, this is not true. And suddenly it's just the work that has to happen. Like, we have to face ourselves, and we don't want to do that. No. And what happened is, even when we face ourselves, we go through the fears, and then let's say, you are friends, right?
Yeah.
And so what happened is, you're gonna ask him, but you're gonna form the questions so he validates your feelings. Okay, I'm not stupid. I'm not the delusional. I'm not that. And then, okay, so I got somebody with me. Okay, so he drink your Kool-Aid. Now you're drinking my Kool-Aid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how we just find the people. But truly, when you start growing, you start attracting better people, and you start asking better questions.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was just telling on the podcast, because you mentioned Tony Robbins. He's my like dearest friend. Well, I've been with Tony 25 years. You cannot go to Tony and then the event ends, right? And then you go home and you go back to the old patterns. You gotta bring whatever you learn. I'm not saying Tony, you cannot take Tony home, but whatever you learn, you gotta bring it home and you gotta implement it.
Right.
But then you have coaches, right? And then accountability. But then if you cheat yourself, you're also gonna cheat the coach. Mm-hmm. You're gonna cheat your wife. And I'm not saying cheat on your wife. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it's truly facing yourself and looking in the mirror. I'm 52 years old man, and I look in my mirror every morning. It's like, motherfucker, I love you. I'm gonna take care of you today. I neglect you for so many years. We're gonna, put your good thoughts in you today. We're gonna put good food, good drinks, like everything else. We're gonna work out. We have to do the work. And then what happened is, when you start succeeding, it's like, shit, I deserve this. So today I deserve a drink. I just closed the deal. Today I deserve this.
Dopamine.
Motherfucker, you don't deserve shit. We on this earth to serve. Mm-hmm. But the problems, we gotta serve ourselves in order to help serve others.
That's right.
There are cheat codes. Like, there's no cheating on you, because you the one that spend with your head the entire life. Mm. You know this, like like I went through 3 wives, right? The kids grow up, the parents move away or die, right? And you with you for the rest of your life, but we don't take care of ourselves. Like people that do alcohol. You have a 2-year-old daughter. Do you drink?
No.
Okay, but let's say you do, or you do something. Would you give it to your 2-year-old daughter?
Of course not.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Okay, when you go through the bad stuff, when you have a bad thoughts, okay, forget alcohol. When you have a bad thoughts, would you give your bad thoughts or the negative thinking to your own daughter that's 2 years old? But you give it to yourself.
That's right.
That's the work. It's screwed up, because I'm still dealing with this shit. This is the healing process, and it will never end, because it's a human nature. And what do I believe? Which thoughts I believe, which one are good.
That's right. And it's easier to give other people advice, but then you don't give that same advice to yourself. You don't apply that same thing to yourself.
My queen tells me, Jarek, can you fucking give the same advices to others that you give it to yourself? Babe, it's not that easy, because I'm emotionally attached.
Right.
So I know the bullshit story, the background that I built, or my parents built, that my grandparents built, and I want to cut the shit off, and the shit is heavy. It's like, motherfucker, leave me alone. And it's like, and you gotta cut it. And every morning, look up, get a goosebumps. Every morning we have to build ourselves up from the beginning. You woke up, be grateful. You know, when you go to the bottom of the bottom, like I don't wish to anybody, it's you don't see anything positive. You're in the deep hole that it's like, you know, and the problem is, if I tell you that there is a light on the end of the tunnel, that's a lie. You are the light. You create the tunnel, but nobody could reverse my thinking.
Correct.
Now I'm talking about it. Now I want to have the awareness. Now I want to have the voice. Like you, your own answer. You are, I am. I cannot bullshit you. You can only bullshit yourself. And I'm still bullshitting myself sometimes. I go in the tunnels like shit. But I need a break. You know, I don't eat sugar. I don't drink coffee, or I don't drink alcohol. Dude. It's a daily, but a lot of men, that's why we have 80% of suicide. We already hit the record this year, and it's only July.
It's insane.
It's insane. Because what happened is that's how we are, and we just program ourselves, and then we figure there's no other answers. You have to be provider, you gotta be protector, you gotta be strong, you cannot be a pussy, you cannot cry. What the fuck? I'm a human. I wanna fucking cry. Yeah. I wanna laugh, I wanna smile, I wanna fuck it up. That's it.
Yeah.
That's who we are.
I mean, you had mentioned something about as far as mental health is concerned for men.
Yeah, there was a thing that I said that a lot of men related to, and a lot of women were actually getting a little bit upset with it, and we're trying to reframe and target it towards the men. And I said something along the lines of, if you never notice that your man, he comes home from work and he's sitting in his car, he's silent, he's just sitting in his car for 10 minutes before he even comes inside. It's not necessarily he doesn't love his wife, he doesn't love his children. It's because he's dealing with so much stuff internally that he doesn't know how to actually process it. And in most cases, if he comes out and tries to open up to his wife, a lot of women, instead of actually be the support for the man, they're gonna use it against the man, attack it, and hold it over his head if an argument ever happens. And he just wants someone to confide in and be there with him because he feels so alone. And a lot of women were just using it against men, like, no, that's not true. He's sitting in there probably texting other girls, going on Tinder or whatever. But a lot of men, I feel like their struggles go unnoticed by maybe the one person that they need it the most, and that's their significant other in there. And I guess one of the questions what I'm going to ask after this is, do you believe that your spouse played a big role, or your previous spouses, in your kind of downward tunnel into the darkness? For sure.
No question.
No question.
No. Because what happens is when you become vulnerable and then it's used against you, fucked.
Yeah.
So what happens is then you shut down and then you have a more pain and all, because what happens is all the guilt and shame stays within you.
Yeah.
And I know I'm not an expert here. I'm on my third wife.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that having the right partner is everything. The reason I did everything alone, and when I open up now, I have, all those people around me that is helping, and I'm building, like we're building together. I always build everything myself. I create the bunker around me and make sure nobody fucking get into it. Mm-hmm. But also because, I create this bunker, I also kept all the pain.
Yeah.
When you open up, vulnerability is the best thing. That's our feminine energy. We need it. I'm not a fucking believer of fucking Andrew Tate bullshit. Like, fuck yeah, drink. You want to drink the Kool-Aid, drink the Kool-Aid, but you're going to be fucking miserable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We need women. We need the feminine energy. Mm-hmm. We need them. But the problem, not a problem, it's not an issue. If you cannot, the women's gonna use our vulnerability. Come on, there's like to the level. And you have to be able to say who you are, and you gotta own your shit, and it's gotta come out. And unfortunately, you spend the most time, like us, like you, me, spend the most time with ourselves. Who is the second person? Your partner.
Right.
And if your partner doesn't let you be vulnerable, unconsciously she is sabotaging your own inner dialogue. When I talk with a lot of men, and I've been in the same journey. Yeah, my wife doesn't want, and my wife doesn't want to grow. She doesn't understand. Yeah, she's a bitch. She's this. It's like, and I was there. It's because we attract on the same level that we are at, that we want to grow, we want to evolve, and the women stay, and suddenly it's like there's attraction. I think I can tell you right now, the women, I accomplish more with my women, the current wife right now, more in 5 years than I accomplished with all of them together for the last 30 years. In 5 years. And I can tell you, even if we had the conversation 3 years ago, I would tell you the same thing in 2 years.
Speaks volumes.
Seriously. I never realized how important the partner in life is. But the problem is when you blaming the partner for everything, because I still blame my wife for everything, just so you know. That didn't change. She goes, shut the fuck up, you're just telling on camera something else, you do something else, we're still getting fights.
Yeah.
But the fights are on a different level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We have at least the awareness.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the biggest things that cause divides or drifts in relationship and even kind of sabotages yourself is the inability to take accountability for things that you do. You know, so there was now we're talking about some of the videos. I think it was one of the first videos that you interacted from ours, and it was me talking about how the woman that's going to be single forever is the one that fails to take accountability, the one that hates being accountable for the things that they do, and rather than taking accountability will rather change the subject or try to point everything back onto her man and bring up something that he did in the past that might be irrelevant in order to avoid taking accountability for something she's doing.
I'm getting goosebumps, brother. The reason we connected on this reel, because that is so true. So here what happened is, when you are with narcissists, she will disown the children, she will disown you to deny her own truth. I did not left my wife there because she cheated on me. I mean, I did. But when the breaking point was for me, when she told me, we were in the kitchen, and when she told me, I cheated on you because of you. And I thought she is fucking with me. And I remember the scene, right? Here's the refrigerator, this is, and I thought she's fucking with me, right? So I'm turning around, there must be somebody behind me, right?
There's a camera somewhere.
And dude, and she truly believed it, that I'm the reason she cheated on me. And this was the breaking point for me. The peace came, like the God came, and I was like, thank you. I can live in peace.
Yeah.
And
this is like, but this, it has to get through this fucking point.
Yeah.
So that's why I relate with that, because there was something, I remember, I know exactly what you're talking about. I remember now I get it. And I was like, motherfucker, that's exactly. And I was getting signals. I was like, because I was fighting, I was preparing for this long time ago. And suddenly, that's and that was like, phew.
Yeah, and it was at that moment where, you see a lot of people relating in the comments, you see a lot of people denying. One thing about it though is, like you mentioned, so there's gonna be a lot of both men and women alike, right? As far as their ability of taking accountability. So you'll have, for example, your situation. You had this woman in your life. Woman cheats on you. As opposed to saying, hey, listen, I messed up, I fucked up, I cheated. She'd rather say, hey, the only reason I cheated is because of you. The only reason I cheated is because you did this, this, or this. Or they'll say, the only reason I cheated on you is because I thought you were cheating on me. So they'll always try to find a reason or a way to get themselves out of being accountable, as opposed to saying, hey, listen, I fucked up, I cheated, you do whatever you want with that information. But it's like the same thing, like they're more than willing to detach from everything around them to not accept blame. You have kids with a toxic woman, and anytime a problem happens, whether it be with the kids or with something else, rather than saying, hey, listen, our child did this, our son did this, our daughter did this, it's always, hey, your son is doing this. Hey, your daughter's doing this.
That's a human nature. The bad shit is your shit.
Yes.
And the good shit is like, with my current one, we don't have kids, right? I mean, so we have dogs. So we have 2 boxers. That's funny. When they fucking, and those are dogs. Those are not even humans. When they do something good, oh, my dogs eat this. When I come in and they eat the packages or they eat my eyeglasses, motherfucker, your dogs. It's like, and the same thing exactly is with the children.
Yeah.
It's when they do, but we do the same thing.
Subconscious.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then what do you have to do?
But the most important thing is you have to be accountable. You have to say, hey, listen.
You got to reprogram yourself.
Yes, that's the most important thing.
First is awareness. Then you bring your consciousness level up, and then you got to reprogram. Hey, that shit doesn't serve me. See, what happened is my current wife pays for all the sins that my exes did.
Right.
And she's keep telling me, I'm not your fucking ex. But what happened is, I get that, you're not. But I'm carrying all the programming. So, do you know, so there's a conscious mind, but my subconscious mind still carry all this energy, and I don't do this purposely. Like, I take accountability quickly and ownership of it. I fuck it up. But first, there is a defense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? First, it's like, because it's like shit. And then I go defend, oh, fuck, no, and then I gotta back. But this is the never-ending work.
Yeah, it's like with an abuse, like doing an analogy, it's like whenever you're dealing with abuse or trauma, it's like a dog. If a dog comes from a previous owner that was constantly abused, you're a good owner, your wife's a good wife, she comes to pet you, you instantly, it's just muscle memory to deflect and hide and run away, or whatever the case may be, try to bite back, is because that's all you ever known is a hand coming at you, and it's painful. You don't know about a hand coming to you.
Because if you got burst so many times, you just like, you don't want to go there.
Yeah.
And what happened is when you go there, when you pass it, when you touch the heat, and on there it's like fucking love. That's what the good feeling. But you just like, you don't want to go there. And it's like, hey, I'm here. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to get fucking hurt again. I don't want to get burned again. Yeah. But it's like, like I'm not there, like, I'm hot throughout. Because some of them is like, you got like all the heat, like, 200 degrees on the touch, and there is cold inside. And it's like, and that's what we scared. So we got to reprogram ourselves. Because we don't know any better.
Yeah.
And guess what? We don't trust. But with the trust, start not with other people, with trust with ourselves. If you keep breaking promises to yourself, what happens is you don't have a trust to others.
Right.
You know what I mean? If I'm cheating, I'm gonna expect you that you're cheating. And I'm not talking with another person even, you know what I mean? But with the, if I'm not cheating, like let's say I'm not drinking, or I said my promise, like today I'm not gonna do this, or I'm gonna do this, and then I don't do it, I cheated on myself, I broke my promises. So what happened is we cannot break the promises to ourselves, and that's the hardest work that you ever do on yourself. Right. You know what I mean? This is so fucking hard. Today I'm not gonna cuss, fucking I already cussed like in the last fucking sentence, like 7 times, you know what I mean? I'm just giving an example, you know what I mean? But we gotta stop breaking promises to ourselves, and that's how we build the resilience, the faith, the discipline, and everything else. But we need people. We need to connect with others. We need to connect with our spouses. We need to connect with our partners. We need to connect with our kids. But if we don't connect with ourselves, that's where we end up alone. And even though we're in a relationship, but that's what the suicides are.
Yeah. So what would you tell men that are watching this, that are in a similar situation where they can relate to you, and they're like, you know what, that's exactly how I've been feeling, but they can't find a way out. They feel like they're still trapped inside of their own mind, and they're still battling this internal war between the outside world and themselves. What advice would you give them to make this process of finding that clarity a little bit easier?
Number one, that's the biggest thing for me was I thought that I'm the only one. But when I start opening up and suddenly I have people coming to my house and we're doing the podcast, 5 years later, like, what the fuck? Like, I thought I'm the only one. I mean, it's whoever is listening to us right now, you are not the only one. There's 8 billion people in this world and they all go through the same shit. That's it, that you number one, not the only one. Okay, we all go through our voices, we all go through our phases, we all have demons, devils in our fucking head, we all do. Pope's got it, Mother Teresa's got it, Tony Robbins got it, everybody does. It's just like how big it's like how you vocalize, how much you, no, I want to say differently. We all have the pain, and we need the pain.
Yeah.
And the pain is, I mean, it's forever. Suffering is optional. Okay? So what, number one, you're not the only one. Number two, open up to somebody. But now going to your vulnerability. And this is my advice.
Yeah.
Do not open to your wife.
Am I?
On the beginning, to anybody, whoever listening, do not open to your partner, do not open to your brother, do not open to your parents, because the first time, because what happened is they in your bubble, so you scared. At least I'm talking about myself, how I did it. I was scared to open to my brother, to my wife, to my parents, to my sister, even those are people that love me, but I was scared they're gonna judge me and they're gonna use my vulnerability for my weaknesses against me, even though because what happened is suddenly when you don't trust yourself, you don't have trust to others.
No.
And so I cheat the code. I went to somebody who doesn't know me, doesn't know anybody that I know. Unfortunately, was also a homeless person on the fucking bench first time. And then it was a therapist that I knew if she's gonna tell me something or he is gonna judge me, I can just, okay, I'm not gonna show up again and we're done. It's really, you really have to just completely to the stranger. When you take this shit out, it's easier.
Yeah.
So, and then when you feel comfortable, then you go to the people that you love. But you have to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
I'm fucking vulnerable, dude. Like my friends, like, dude, like after reading my book on my social media, yeah, like when I'm with you now, I feel like you're fucking naked all the time. Like I know everything about you. But just it takes the power away. But yes, it does happen. The people that love you the most, they want to judge you. They want to, because that's the story that you tell.
Right.
But they not. Believe me. That you know, you gotta feel strong enough. But the first step is the hardest step.
Yeah.
That's why, like, why you think so many men now on social media they text me because nobody knows about it. I don't know who they are. It's like, shit, I'm going through this shit. And that's even texting somebody on social media, you know, through the Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Even that, it's already kind of like, hey, I have an issue, I have a problem.
Yeah.
Reach out to somebody. That's number two. Reach out to somebody. And I did not have the balls to reach out to loved ones. I went outside. But this is me. Everybody's
being
different.
judged.
Yes. And then after that, you're gonna find that you're not the only one, and just start doing. I mean, number three. Any drugs, any alcohol you take, any work you do, like you work 22 hours, or you suddenly don't want to go home. You want to sit because, you know, like you're talking like somebody sits in a car 10 minutes. Yeah. What about so many men go to work and after work goes to bars because they don't want to go home?
Very common.
Brother, if you don't want to go home, let's start with that. You know, why you don't want to go home? Take accountability, but take ownership for yourself. And it's not easy, dude. Like the shame and the guilt is the lowest form of energy. And when you live in it, it becomes your identity. Yeah. And that's what, like, I almost took my own life. That's why so many men take their own life, because this is not worth it.
Yeah.
So the pain, the suffering cannot become our identity.
There's one thing that I think is very important in all aspects of life, whether you're trying to become successful or just have a better mental health outlook on life, and that is the law of attraction, right? So if you're constantly bringing in and attracting negative energy, negative thoughts, you speak negative, you think negative of yourself, all you're gonna see is the shit everywhere. If you constantly look for shit, you're gonna find shit, right? But if you kind of just take your eyes up off, you kind of realize how beautiful the world can actually be and how beautiful everything is around you, and you can put yourself in a more positive frame of mind. And you mentioned that basically the whole time is reframing and looking and not talking to yourself as bad and just taking accountability and looking in the mirror. If you look in the mirror and you constantly see yourself as, bro, like, who are you? You're a fraud. You're a waste. Who are you to these people? You got to work harder. You're just never gonna have that fulfillment that you finally like. I did it. Like I can be proud of myself. I can accomplish myself. I can tell myself, good job. I'm proud of you. You can have your dad saying you're proud, that he's proud of you. You have your family, but those don't really mean nothing if you're not proud of yourself, because you're just gonna be like, it doesn't mean anything. What do you mean you're proud of me? You're saying that because you're my father, you're my wife. That's why you're saying that. You're not like, you don't mean it.
You're my coach that I'm paying you for. You're my therapist that I'm paying you for.
Right. So it's like you have to say, you're saying that because you feel like you have to, not because you want to.
But I want to challenge on you. So hear what happened is, and it's my story. I was so positive that doesn't matter how negative shit was, I always find positive something in it. So I put all the pain on the carpet, because I was so fucking positive. It's like, what the fuck, Jarek? Like, this is fucking tragedy. But look at the good side of it. It's like, but the shit, the pain, you know how what compound interest is in the businesses or on the bank, you compound the interest, the compound pain, it stays there. If you don't deal with this shit, you know, if you don't deal, like you said, like, you know, the white elephant, you put a blanket on it, it doesn't exist. The same thing with the pain, the emotional body pain. If you don't deal with this shit, you're putting under the carpet and you don't deal, because I'm positive, because you said negative. So positive, you only see positive. What happens is, if you don't deal with the pain, you don't deal with actually the reality, this shit's gonna explode with me. Because I was always positive. And I always took fucking ownership and accountability for fucking others. Oh yeah, your wife did this, your kids did this. Yeah, it's my fault because I raised them the wrong way. I was like, shut the fuck up. I blame everything. I took everybody else's pain and everybody fucking problems. And then I did not, I got it, you know. And I was a crying baby, like breaking. And I didn't know how much I was breaking. And until I have to deal with that, like, we have to face our fears. We gotta face our pain and let it out. Scream, yell, cry, run out of it, fucking lose shit even on your loved ones. And I'm like, sorry babe, like, I love you. But sometimes, dude, sometimes, like, you know, with my kids, it's just like, what the fuck? And like, shit, I fuck it up, sorry. But it's like, it was there. I don't know what happened.
You get to that point eventually where the only thing
so you don't kill yourself. So you don't just because if it's eating you from the inside, it's coming on the outside. And if you know there's, we don't have to get to the breaking point. I got it to the breaking point. And it's like, when is the bottom of the bottom? Never. When is the top of the top? Never. We pick our own journey. What you guys doing is an amazing job. You know what I mean? It's just like somebody can listen. It's like, fuck, I can relate to that. Like, I don't like, you know, I can relate to you. Can I understand you? No, you're on your own journey.
Right.
You know, don't tell me you understand me. You're not me. I can relate to you, brother. But I cannot, like, you know, it's like, you have your own stories. I have my own stories, you know, and it's hard. But at the end of the day, we all relate because we go through the same journey, through the same shit. And we don't want to get to the point that, dude, how can I have everything and be miserable and be alone?
Yeah, and people don't see that that's the reality for a lot of people. And it's like, the more success you obtain, the more responsibilities you have, the more pressure that's on you. You know, a lot of people, we talk about social media, one of the first topics we talked about. A lot of people, they see the success on social media, but they don't see what happens behind the scenes. They see what happens in front of the curtains, but they don't see what happens behind the curtains when the curtains are closed and you're actually alone and you get to be to yourself, and all of those problems are still there. And the thing about our content too is, like, we talk a lot about mental health, relationships, and manipulation. And whenever we post these content, on the comments, it goes back to what you said. A lot of times, the majority of our comments are from people saying, oh my God, I can't believe that I wasn't the only one that was dealing with this. I can't believe that this wasn't normal. I thought I was the only one that dealt with this, but now I'm seeing that because these guys are acting it out, that this is common. And it heals them from this pain that they're feeling, because now they know, okay, my suffering is not alone. I'm not alone in my suffering. There's other people that can relate to me. And because these other people can relate to my struggles, that means there is a way out. Now it's just up to me, like you said, reframe, reprogram, and find that way out.
Nobody's out there to say. The only human being in your life that can save you, it's you.
Exactly.
It's you. It's me. You can tell me something, you can give me a breakthrough. You're giving me an aha moment at these conversations, and then it's up to me. Am I gonna use it or I'm gonna ignore it?
Right.
And sometimes if I'm not ready to hear it, 5 years from now, Jesus, those fucking motherfuckers were in my house, they told me that, but I wasn't ready to listen. But they said it, you planted the seed. It's the work that we do. It never stops.
Right.
But nobody's out there to save you but you.
Right. I certainly 100%
You know what I mean?
think that that's a powerful statement because, from somebody that built a substantial amount of wealth, I mean, we're in your home today and, it's easy for us to see this home and then just look around and be like, wow, this is great. This guy must be, living perfectly, lavishly. He must be happy with where he's at. But then again, we talk about it again. 4 years ago, what almost happened? You're on the boat and your plan was
the pain, it doesn't matter if I'm this house or if I'm in a, rental that I rent in Jacksonville for $8,000, the pain is still the same.
Right.
You know what I mean? I cry the same thing on my jet. I felt the same cry, when I'm on the beach under the palm tree. The pain is still the same. The love is still the same. It's nice to see it, but it's the feelings, the emotions are still the same. Don't take me wrong. Money, it's a good thing. It gives you time. It gives you flexibility. It gives you different opportunities. It does. Does it heal you? No. If you're a dick, you're gonna be a bigger dick. If you're broken, you're gonna be more broken. If you're depressed, it's gonna give you more fucking depressed. It will never ever stop. We got truly everything within us. And just go deep, go find the answers. It's like, why do I need this? Like, why do I need another car? Why do I need another home? Why do I need another woman? Why do I need to cheat on my wife? Why do I need to get a beer? Why do I need, why? What is the reason? And ask the questions. That's like, it's funny. In my entire life, when I was doing my businesses, okay, I want to buy the building. Let's say 20 units. Okay, why do you want to buy the 20 units? Well, because, I have some, let's say give me different, because I want to have more. Why I have more? For significance? Because that's under 20 units. Okay, then I don't need the 20 units. Then I don't want it. But suddenly it's like, yeah, but I have extra, I have all my employees and, they're gonna give him more work and they're gonna give him promotions. Okay, so let's buy the 20 units, right? What else? Well, it's in different neighborhood and then this employee's got a kid and they can go to the school and that gives me a reason to actually buy it. When I was like, shit, I want more money, I wanted this, it's like, so why you want more money? Then you want it for significance. You want to go to the next level. You want to be richer. Why do you want to be richer? So people can notice me. Why I need to be noticed? Because I want to be loved. What the fuck? It's like, then I commute all the community and I could make the bubble so nobody say no to me because I'm the big boss. So nobody hurts me. Nobody breaks me because I have a control, so I create a control environment. And then I'm still fucking broken.
Yeah, and it's all ties, literally.
And then I'm still broken.
Ties into the title of the book, not enoughness. Nothing you do is ever enough.
No.
And even when you achieve success, it's still not enough.
No, you're still broken because you did for the fucking wrong reasons. You know what I mean? And suddenly when you start doing from within, it's like shit. Like now I want to help 8 billion people. This is a goal I cannot fucking achieve. But I don't want to fucking, I want to make sure, I want to reach to, imagine if already 600,000 people commit suicide, 80% of men. Already, how many people, that was successful this year. Right. Look at how many attempts were there. We're talking fucking millions, brother. Millions. Yes. We're sitting here, we're doing fucking podcasts. Yeah, life is good, brother. You know what I mean? We have one guy, that's enough.
That was our whole, when we first started this, we're not very big at all, but when we first started this, we actually started with another person and he kept saying that, why are you doing a podcast? You're a nobody. It doesn't matter if I'm a nobody or somebody. All that matters if that one person that watches this, if we do a positive impact on them, that's more than enough for us. And that's all that kept going. It was like we just kept posting regardless of when we first started having no views, nothing. We just need one person.
We got hit with reality very well. Like when we posted our first 2 videos, one of them hit 10,000 views with like us having 0 followers, and the second one had 5,000. And then we're like, oh yeah, we got this huge hit of dopamine. We're like, you see, we're being seen, we're being noticed. And then from those thousands, 100, 200, 100. And there, like he mentioned, we had a third guy with us, and he was one of those, like we talked about narcissists. He was one of those guys that he would try to get us all against each other. We went to the Vault, right, which is Patrick Bet-David's event. And I remember when I was at the Vault, I asked him, I said, dude, I was like, why are you smoking weed? I said, why do you feel the need to bring weed with you? And then I asked him, I said, why are you on your phone? Why are you not paying attention? He goes, oh, all of this is just common sense. Oh, all of this is just common sense. And then, what's his name? I forget his.
Were you guys in the Vault conference last year?
We went in 21.
Okay.
So we went to the Vault in 2021, and it was Robert Kiyosaki was speaking. And I remember Robert Kiyosaki saying, common sense is not common practice. And I look over at him and I said, you see, you said this is all common sense, but it's a common practice for you. And he was just, oh yeah, why don't we just ditch this and go do this? And I'm like, buddy, I pay for these tickets. I pay for everybody's tickets. I was like, I'm staying. I was like, you can go, but we're staying. And then he was starting to tell him, oh, Edison's just trying to be the center of attention. Edison's just trying to be the center of attention. And then when he was with me, he would say, why do we have Darren on here? He doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't know what to do. Why are we trying to talk about mental health? Why don't we just talk about something else? And he just kept trying to change what we were doing. So eventually, he kept saying, oh, well, one time I told him, I said, hey, I don't think you're a perfect fit anymore. I don't think you should stay on the show with us. And his response was, that's fine. I was gonna tell you guys anyways that I don't think we should do this anymore because, you guys are just a bunch of nobodies. And to be doing something like this, you gotta be somebody, and you're not somebody.
No.
And I said, you know what? I shook his hand, I said, you're right, thank you.
Yeah.
And I just let him leave, and we just kept going.
I learned this,
We've
you're
been
right.
successful since.
I learned this, you're right. You cannot, my entire life, my motto was, do not argue with an idiot. He's gonna take you to his level and beat you with experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and you know what? And people that know me, when they said, yeah, you're right. People that know me, oh, fuck, he's a sarcastic guy. I don't argue. You're right. Even it's like, because what happened is, people have their own truth. Facts are the facts, but if I tell you this glass is half full or half empty, you're right and I'm right. The facts is the facts because the glass is full, but it doesn't mean that we're not, you're right. I'm not gonna argue with you because I don't need this energy.
Yeah.
Right.
And if you are nobody, yeah, you're right, we're nobody. It's like, I'm not doing this for even like when I started. It's funny how to tell it just, I think, and that's the work we're talking about. Because it's nice, when you have all the trophies, you get Oscars or you get money, this is like you get rewarded for it. And believe me, when you get there, it's fucked up. What next? What next? Because I do Ironman, so a lot of people, my friends and people that work for me or with me started doing Ironmans. And I'm like, dude, when you finish on the finish line, next week you're gonna get depressed. You're gonna get like, what? What are you talking about? I'm like, because for you to finish doing Ironman is something unachievable.
Right.
So for a year, 2 years, 6 months, whatever you're gonna train, you think this is the goal. And suddenly you accomplish the goal and you're like, what the fuck, what next? And that's what happened to me with everything.
That satisfaction you thought you were gonna feel,
it doesn't.
Was never there.
It's nice to pass the finish line, but the person you become on the journey, on the training, the thoughts, the inner dialogue, because when you train, you're alone, and that's who we become. And then we share it. And what you guys doing, you're just sharing with the other people, and that's enough.
Right.
And suddenly like you get something like a reward. But I hope it doesn't happen too quick because then we get stupid. The grind is the good work. That's the fulfillment. That's the best part. don't cheat it. Don't cheat. Like, there's a shortcuts in life, but there's no, just don't look for shortcut. Enjoy the journey, enjoy who we become on the journey. Not the fucking destination.
Yep.
It's not the destination, but my entire life I was, let's get this to the peak as soon as possible. But then, fuck.
Yeah, it's like when you...
And then you don't want to go back because you've done it. You don't want to go back.
It's a long way down there from the top of the mountain.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to do that.
it's like shit. That's fucking boom.
Yeah, we've got our like fair share of experience with, I would say, hitting rock bottom, and there's a lot of uncomfortable conversations that have to be had that him and I have had with each other. And I remember I would just, because aside from like this, we have a business in fitness and sports supplements, and for example, we came out with 2 pre-workout formulas, and we're like, hey, listen, we're gonna hit the market with this. We hit the market, sales were going very well, but then we decided, you know what? Sales are doing phenomenal. Let's just relax. Let's just go e-commerce. Let's just
hell no, brother. You never relax, dude.
Sales plummeted.
Of course.
I remember I looked at the inventory, and I looked at over 200 units that are now expired. And I told him, I said, you're gonna throw this out with me. We're gonna see everything that we worked our asses off for, we're gonna see it all go into the trash. And I get goosebumps talking about this. I get emotional talking about this because I tell him, I'm like, listen, I was like, you look at your mother, I look at my mother. I watched my mother battle cancer. Luckily she beat cancer. And the whole time I'm just thinking about it, and I'm like, I let you down, I let my fiance down, I let my daughter down, I let myself down, I let him down. And I always tell him, I feel responsible for your success. I feel responsible for my success. I feel responsible for everybody's success. And you talked about that too, putting all that pressure on you. So I remember we just had this conversation, and that was my breaking point, where I was just like, dude, I don't know what to do. I would sit in my car and I would just cry.
Comfort is our biggest enemy, brother.
Yeah,
seriously.
100%.
If you go on a fucking autopilot, it's fucked up. It's over. And you don't realize it a year from now or 2 years from now. Suddenly when you guys start hitting numbers, let's say this is your goal. I'm not saying I know you have other goals, but let's say this: when the numbers start hitting and you just start taking this shit for granted, start evolving, being creative, doing the work, improving yourself. A year from now, it's like there's a kid that is just doing this and is gonna have Tommy G. Yeah. Dude, I love my Tommy. It's like when he tries so many fucking times, and it's now harder to maintain it than even he almost give up.
Right.
And it's hard to maintain it, but when you maintain it, this is really the maintaining. It's like doing even harder, working harder.
Yes.
Hitting the stagnation is my body looks good. But it's shit now. I gotta eat better. I gotta work out smarter. I'm getting older. I gotta eat the right supplements, and it's like shit. This is, but I'm good. No. When you say you good,
yeah,
you fucked. I can tell you. Call me a year from now. Fuck yeah. How did you know, dude? It's. Life never stops.
The moment you think you have everything under control, that's when you start to lose control. Because now you start getting complacent, and complacency is one of the worst. I would say it's like a drug, because people chase this feeling of being complacent because it gives them a sense of comfort. It gives them a sense of security, where they think, okay, I'm good where I'm at, and I'm good here. But then now that they're in this area of complacency, they don't keep trying, or at very least what ends up happening is they start going back, because they're staying in one area. They're not worried about moving forward or trying to make something better out of their current situation, because they think, okay, I'm at where I'm at, this is enough. Like when you first started in real estate, I think you said your first deal was 3 properties, or was it
I bought a 4-plex. I have no fucking idea what I'm doing. Dude, if you told me that I'm gonna own all this shit, no, this was like this, that's it.
You could have stopped there. You could have stopped at a 4-plex.
I could. And how did I make, but even the one conversation changed my trajectory.
You got it good. You had it good.
Jesus Christ. Of your life. One sentence, one conversation. And then the fourplex, and I could stay there. Then I bought another one, then I bought it, so I could stay on those three. And this was like, but what happened is, then I got to the level that I felt comfortable in 2009.
Yes.
Because I made all my money in 2007 when the market hit bottom of the bottom. I just won lottery. I just by proving everything this. And 2009, 2010, that's how my journey going down the life. That's how long my journey took. 2009, I started evolving, progressing, and growing, because I'm done. You know what I mean? I have so many units. I'm like, dude, I'm financially strong. I'm like, that's the second time I retired, right? I'm done this time. And then I start chasing. So I asked my wife, can we have 2 more kids? Because I missed the time
to be with them.
because I work all the time. We have the kids. It was a year. Oh yeah, they were born, blah, blah, blah. Dude, it's like, shit, this is not my shit. And then I started doing fucking Ironmans. You know what I mean? Like, again, looking for something because there was something missing. And all the shit that was missing, million people told me. There was already YouTube, but like I heard it. I was already in a personal development, the self-development. It was me, but I wasn't ready to. I got the message, but I didn't. Until I broke in 2021. It took me 12 years because I was like, like looking for something. Right. The comfort killed me. And I was looking for another successes. More kids, so they have 2 more. Then Ironman, they have a ski accident. Then when I have the ski accident, then what happened is I was recovering in so I did not lose my leg because I was 6 months in the hospital, 13 surgeries. So I was again sedated with the recovery. But I was always fucking scared to be with myself. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine being 51 years old? Hold on, when I went to Tokyo, it was my first trip. I never lived with myself. I always lived with my parents, and then I lived with my wives, and then kids. First time, I was alone.
How was that for you?
Fucked up, dude. It was weird as fuck.
You didn't know what to do?
No.
You're like, how do I enjoy this time with myself?
Dude. Weird.
I don't know if I would be able to do that. I don't know.
You feel like the thing is when you're by yourself, you feel like, okay, what's one thing I know what to do? Work.
Yeah.
So how can I start working where I'm at?
Dude. No drinking, no drugs, no nothing. Not looking for women, it's just like being alone. I'm okay. I'm in Tokyo, I'm across the fucking country, the world. I was like, holy shit, I'm gonna go for a walk. I'm gonna and then I have the whole conversation, uninterrupted, The time difference was fucked up, so I couldn't call everybody because the time was like,
Oh, so you were definitely alone.
Why are you fucking calling me at 4 o'clock in the morning? Leave me alone, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Love it.
Yeah.
At that time, I was uncomfortable. I didn't know. It's like, okay, shit, I gotta do this more.
Yeah, I went to Atlanta without my fiance and without my daughter, and I remember I was just there by myself for 3 days. I was attending an event, and it was like I was in such a weird position because I'm not used to not being with my fiance, my daughter, or my mother. So I'm just there and I'm like, what do I do? And then, there's these people I met, they're like, oh, come out drinking with us. Let's go smoke some hookah. And I'm like, no, I'm good. Or what I'll do is to not reject them. I'll say, yeah, as long as I don't fall asleep. And then I go to my room. I never come out. I tell them I fell asleep. But the whole time, it's like, I'm trying to figure out things to do. So I'm either just like, you know what, let me get to work. Or, kid you not, for about almost 2 hours, I sat by my window just staring at the view, just staring outside. That's all I did because I didn't know what else to do with myself.
The first time I experienced high without anything, I already done a lot of work on myself. And I went to with my kids to Universal. And I called all my coaches, I called everybody. I did the story. And I'm sitting and I'm listening to this music, right? My kids are in the line, Universal. Yeah, I took them, right? It's night. I'm listening to the music, and I'm sitting in a Universal on a bridge, I'm having a tea, and like thousands of people are walking on the bridge this way and on the bridge this way, and I see all the lights. And I got this fucking ecstasy, euphoria. I'm like, what the fuck? Even though I listen to the music, but not loud, but I listen, but I still hear the noises. Billion languages, people from, I'm getting goosebumps, all over the fucking world. I'm like, Jesus, black, white, from freaking China,
Asia,
from
everywhere.
Poland, from Asia, from Africa, from like all the demographics. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And it's been it's like an hour, 2 hours. I'm like a little kid, like, holy shit, I'm high as fuck, and like I didn't have anything. It's like, so first I call my fiance. It's like, babe, are you fucking microdosing me or something? Like, this is like, I never experienced this feeling. This is like the emotion, and suddenly I think I sat there for like 2-3 hours. Then my kids came, it's like, Dad, where are you? I'm like, I'm here. They came, okay, let's go back. They're closing the park. I was mad. I was pissed. I want to stay here. It's like, Dad, what's wrong with you? It's like, dude, I went to bed and I'm still like, collars, like, what the hell? In the morning, I woke up, I called everybody. What the fuck is going on?
It's like, I want to go back to Universal.
Yeah.
Like, it's ready to go again. Like what?
And it's like you finally just building the energy, and you finally just getting the answers, getting the emotions, the feelings. You kind of like, you start I start connecting with my soul, my hearts are connecting with my brain, my logic, and they kind of like went for the walk. My subconscious mind and conscious mind, and I'm still looking for the feelings. Like, I'm still like, when it happens, like, yeah, I got it. But it's like, you cannot live like that all the time on a high.
Right.
You gotta go through the problems, you gotta go through the struggles, and you gotta face it,
Now, what is one thing where, because, women could be watching this too, and we're talking about your journey and how other men are going through this. What is one thing you wish, or maybe what you think would have helped you if like a previous spouse, what do you wish they would have done to help you become who you are today, or say something to you, snap you out of? Is there anything they could have said, or is it solely on the guy?
You know what, I can tell you, and I keep telling, what Jessica gave me that nobody ever gave me in my life. Jessica gave me permission to be me. She gave me permission to be me.
It's powerful.
That's it. My exes, like they run after me, like, well, you having another beer, you having this? And she goes like, you want to drink? What? You're supposed to not, no.
Judgment free.
Yeah.
So you don't, what do you mean? You're supposed to tell me no.
Yeah, like,
Aren't you supposed to start calling me names now?
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Or it's, babe, I just want to cry. Don't cry. No, like, just cry. But I want to, like, I cannot leave those people. We have guests at home, and I really want to go for a run. Go. Who said you cannot? But we have guests at home. I'm like, no, everybody's entertained. It's like, just nobody's gonna even notice that you're gone for half an hour. Who the fuck are you? Like, be you.
Yeah.
Who make the rules? We make the rules, and then we fucking follow them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she always says like, who made the rule? Well, babe, it's Monday. 10 a.m. My friend came over. It's like, I cannot have a beer. Says who? Well, I'm alcoholic. Says who? What the fuck? Who are you? And guess what happened is, and then suddenly I could have a beer anytime I wanted, so I quit drinking. Because suddenly when I know I can have it anytime I want it, I don't want it anymore, because it's like, it's not forbidden.
Right. It was readily available. So now you don't need it.
So suddenly, like when I'm dealing with my negative thoughts, and then I can be vulnerable. That you said at the beginning of the conversation. If I can be fucking vulnerable with you on my fucking negative thoughts, that's what I'm doing. I'm not delusional. And it's like, go, you have more? Look at, I'm getting goosebumps. You have more?
Yeah.
Who the fuck are you? Like, where did you came from? I thought she's a setup. Like when I met her, I thought she's a setup for my exes because they couldn't get to what I own. So I thought that's a setup. Yeah, for 6 months, I thought she's a setup that she's getting all the like what I have.
Yeah, let me go through your contacts. Let's see who you talk to.
Can you imagine? And I'm not bullshitting you. I'm telling you the truth.
I believe it.
It's just like, I'm telling you, let me be me. And I said like, but I was like, because she met me at the bottom of the bottom. And I'm like, how the hell, babe? Like, and she's like, I just knew that you have within you and I just trust you. And I'm like, babe, if you know the mess that I carry, and look at now, me here, you know what I mean? But I need to have permission to be me. But your parents cannot give you permission to be you because they are your parents.
Right.
So, do you know what I mean? They have their own rules.
Yeah.
You know, like I asked my daughter, it was a month ago, she called she called Jessica. It's like, oh my God, I have this amazing conversation with my dad. And my dad asked me, I was venting and my dad asked me, do you want me to put my father head or do you want me to be my friend to listen? And she said, no, just listen. And I just listened. And I was like, dude, I want to fucking fix everything.
Yeah.
And I just listened and okay. And then she called Jessica, oh my God, my dad listened, my dad did not. And I was like, this was the impact. But I just give her something that I was given to me. Yeah. You gotta be you, you gotta be you. Mm-hmm. Not by, and that's why I sit with myself every day. Like, you know, I have a 1 hour dating Jarek because I gotta date myself. I gotta take care of myself.
Yes.
Because if I take care of myself, I can serve better. Yeah. I can be better father, I can be better partner, I can be better boss, I can be better, you know, friend, I can be better son. But it starts with us. So that's for me, that's what it was. Like you asked one advice. And it's hard.
It is. Because
we want to change women and the women want to change us. And that's what all the divorces is, all the stuff is, that's what all the breakups, all the shit is happening.
Yeah, and it's a powerful statement that you make because for a lot of people, they don't open up because they feel like they're not being heard. A lot of people, they don't want advice. They don't want you to tell them how to deal with their problems. They just want someone to listen to their problems. They just want to feel like they're being heard. So that's why it's like the importance of, okay, can you just listen to me? Can you just hear me out for once without having to give me any advice? Because sometimes I just want to have someone that I can expel all my emotions to.
But brother, we fixers.
I know, and it's hard not to give.
That's why women can listen, we can't.
Because your immediate thoughts, I know what to tell you. Oh, maybe try this. But sometimes people don't want that.
Babe, I'm listening, babe, I'm listening. You see, I'm listening.
And it's like you mentioned, like, you know, wearing a mask. You put a mask on because you think, okay, this is what's gonna keep me safe. But sometimes the mask that we wear to survive becomes the very same reason why we're dying inside. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we wear this mask to survive, but it's like, okay, who are we trying to survive with? Wait, what are we trying to survive from? Because you're wearing a mask for a reason. And you had mentioned it too. You did so many things within your life because you were trying to achieve different outcomes. But never once throughout that journey did you stop and think to yourself, who is Jarek? Who am I? I know who all these people are around me. I know what it is that I want to do, but who am I?
That's it.
And anytime I ask somebody that, they just freeze.
Whoever's listening right now, he is right there. That's the answer. Who the fuck are we? That's it, right there. But we don't wonder. We don't know how to ask questions.
That's a tough conversation to have.
And that's you know what? That's a conversation for the rest of our fucking life.
Yes.
Because we evolve. So what happened, the answer that is today on July 22nd, 2025, it might be different a year from now. Mm-hmm. And the same thing 2 years from now, 5 years, 10 years from now, we evolve. So we gotta keep asking the same questions.
Who am I?
Who am I? What make me happy? What I wanna do?
What I was like, be known for.
Yeah. What I was like, you know, when I was like in the room alone, like, what the fuck, what I do now?
Right.
And I was like, truly, the only thing was coming, nothing. Okay, then we do nothing. And there's a permission.
Yeah.
We
You
don't
give yourself permission to be human. You give yourself permission to feel feelings. And, it's like the thing is, like, one thing that always stuck with me is one thing that one of my mentors told me is, if you don't know what you want to do, if you don't know who you are, at least ask yourself this question. When you're no longer here and your time is up, what do you want to be remembered for? What do you want written on your headstone when you're no longer here? Do you want people to just be like, oh yeah, that's Edison. That's the guy that, he was always drinking, or he was always, stressed, and he was always working, and he never had time for everybody? Or do you want to be remembered for someone else? Do you want to be remembered as someone that made people laugh, made people happy, made yourself happy, but at the same time healed others? Like, the most important thing is, when you're no longer here, what do you want to be remembered for? What do you want to be known for? And that's really going to at least help you find some more answers of, one, who you are, and two, what you're passionate about. Because a lot of people walk through life not knowing what they're passionate about. And we talk about career paths. A lot of people start going towards career paths that they think others want for them. Most importantly, their parents. A lot of times there's people that are, they go and be doctors, they go and be lawyers. And it's like, okay, what are you doing all this for? Oh, because my parents told me I should be this. And they're the ones that are the most miserable and depressed, because never in their life had they had the opportunity to live life within their own means. They've always had to live life for somebody else, or to make somebody else happy, mostly their parents. And that goes back to what you said earlier. Most people, they're not doing things for themselves. They're doing things for other people. And that's why they suffer mostly. It's a very powerful thing to learn about. And it's like you said.
I cannot disagree with anything you said. Yes, times 100. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But we do forget about ourselves. What was very important, that first we try to satisfy our parents. We want to prove them that hey, because our parents are our parents, right? Even whatever they did to us, and want to prove it. Like I want to, because I was raised by the hard regime by my father. I want to prove it to him that I made it. And then when I made it, it didn't give me any.
Yeah.
And I still forgot about myself. We cannot make happy others. We cannot leave legacy if we are miserable within. Mm-hmm. There's no legacy, because it's like, because that's what happens is we got to be careful that we don't become people pleasers. Because we constantly do something for others and we forget about ourselves. When you start doing shit for yourself, then when the abundance comes. When I retire first time, second time, when I retire, suddenly all the money starts flowing.
Yeah.
And then when I start looking, I'm chasing the happiness. And when I stop chasing the happiness starts coming.
Yeah.
When I start the same thing with the peace, with the flow, I was looking, I want to be in this flow. I want to be at the high of the high, like when I have the Universal 3-4 years ago. I was chasing, and I was like, what the fuck? This was the best fucking ever feeling. When I give up after a year, 2 years, I was like, shit, it was just start coming. Mm-hmm. I have a conversation with you guys, and I'm in the flow. I feel I'm present. Being in the present moment is the most important. That's where the creativity, that's where you're creative. That's where you come up with the ideas. That's when you connect with something that is important. That's when we plant the seed. Yeah. It's that's where I go from now.
Right.
And then go to work. Then we go sharpen the edge. We go to grind. And then again, something happens. And then again. And then again. But as long you're doing this for yourself, not to fulfill your ego, not for significance, but for yourself, to love yourself and be present and be with the moment and just take care of our own self. And sometimes we gotta be selfish. Mm-hmm. I keep telling guys, it's a horrible word, right? It's a negative word.
Yeah.
Selfish. Motherfucker, we gotta be selfish. We gotta take care of ourselves.
I agree.
We got it, because if our bucket is empty, you cannot even be a people pleaser when you're fucking empty.
Exactly.
Seriously, because you giving on the different energy, because you carry the guilt and shame, and the energy is carried. Even with the giving, because suddenly motherfucker, he doesn't appreciate this. He didn't say thank you. He didn't say, who cares? You know what I mean? Who cares? That's what it is.
Yeah, I think one of the hardest questions I ever had to ask myself was, if there was no money to work for, time wasn't a problem, I didn't have to need money for anything, what do I want to do? What would make me happy? And sitting there, and I'm thinking, I was like, well, what do I want to do? Because I often think I need to support my fiance, I need to support myself, so I have to work. So that's why I'm going to work. But what would I want to do? I'm like, okay, well, I want to go on vacations. I want to go on a cruise. I want to go to an island. But in order to do that, I have to work. So whenever I try to think about what would I want to do when it comes to, if money wasn't a problem, if time wasn't a problem, and this is one of the things that what is important to me about this, what we're doing is I think it's important. What I want to do is help people. And how can I do something to help people for free without
But
costing
how
me money?
can you help people if you need help?
That's right.
That's a good question. That's good. And I think a lot of people, some people may be able to process and work through their own trauma and emotions by talking to someone else, because you may be able to find the advice you're looking for.
That's a help
in your
right
own.
there. Because what happened is, like, even right now, I'm in a journey of healing.
Yeah.
So what happened is, this is like sharing our stories right now. Even though we all mess, we still mess. Like, whoever is fucking listening, you all mess, I'm my own mess. You know what I mean? And this is like being in the journey and sharing.
Yeah.
That's actually what it is, helping.
Yeah.
That's what it's helping. And like, for me being even vulnerable, like, how can I, you know how long it took me, like, I could not get out of my head. It's like, how can I help people if I need fucking help?
Yeah.
This is the help. This is the help. My daughter's like, when they turn 18, we bought them like an apartment, like, income producing property. And it's like, Dad, how do you do this? How do you collect the rent? Fucking, I don't know.
Hire somebody.
Like, dude, like, because what happened is I'm not in the journey anymore.
Yeah.
This was like, I know how to acquire, 500 units, 200 units building. Like, I know how to acquire, how to put the deal together. And I don't know how the deal closes. I don't know how it's run.
Yeah.
So I'm not in the journey, but in the journey that we're talking about it, this is my journey I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm still, I'm still broken. I'm still going through the depression. I still have a bad day. I still have amazing days. I still so what happened is I can share it.
Yeah.
Because I'm actually in the shit. So I can teach you the shit.
Right.
And if you can you imagine like me going into the journey like 5 years from now and trying to relive the story, like at that time would be 10 years ago, I would forget how it is to almost killing yourself, how the feeling of depression, the feeling of emptiness, the feeling of not enoughness, writing the book, it would be, dude, we're disconnected. I'm not there anymore. Being in it, that's what it is.
And it seemed like you didn't, correct me if I'm wrong, it seems like you didn't want to die. You just wanted the pain to stop. And
I want to fucking die, brother.
so
I want to fucking take my own life. Let's be honest. I want to, yes, I wanted the pain to stop, but I didn't want to deal with this shit.
it was just too much at that point where you were bottling everything in, and the only solution was to eliminate yourself from everything going on.
I was so delusional.
Because you never gave yourself the opportunity to, one, open up, or two, feel your own feelings.
I never gave a permission to myself be me.
Right.
I was always for somebody else. First somebody else for my parents, then somebody else for my own kids, for my own wives, for everybody else. I was always then for my employees, for everybody, and I forgot about the most important person, me.
Yep, and we all have the inner child.
And the pain compounds so bad. I was a little Jarek, crying, motherfucker, take care of me. Hold on. Today is my son problem. Today is my daughter problem. Today is my wife problem. Today I have this business. Today I have this deal. Today I have the 100 miles bike ride. Today I have, Jesus, like this deal is breaking. This is, what the fuck? Me?
And then you look at yourself, it's like, your problems aren't that bad, buddy. Someone has it 10 times worse. Look at what I have going on. And you're just sitting there looking, crying, like asking and begging. And then that's the one thing, a lot of people, they ignore that broken inner child inside them. They just ignore them forever, and they carry this trauma into relationships. They hide under, like what you were using, work, alcohol, drugs, all that. And it even affects, you can bring a good person into your life, you could bring in a good partner, and because you're so negative, that one good, beautiful person that they were before they met you is now a broken, toxic person because of the trauma that you put onto them, or they end up leaving you for their own sanity. So it's very important, because you're just going to be this radiating ball of disgustingness that will bring and attract disgusting onto other people and potentially ruin other people's lives if you just don't heal yourself. It's very important to take, like you said, self-dates.
I love you guys. I love you guys. Right? You both right on it.
We appreciate it.
Now we gotta fucking share this fucking journey and like show everybody, it's just because the world is so broken right now. We are so divided by hate, by color, by social studies, by financial studies, social media, and all this shit. And the answer is truly love. But the problem, the love starts too hard. It needs to start with ourselves.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, when I say love myself, doesn't mean being narcissistic.
Yeah.
Because remember, narcissists, they are the more secure people in the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So but what I mean, when you love yourself, you love everything. And it's like we all have the insecurities, and the insecurities gotta churn from the insecurity to like, hey, that's my weakness.
Yeah.
Because I was hiding my insecurities forever. Forever.
Yeah, it goes back to the inner child thing. We all have that inner child in us. Till this day, we all do. There's just some point in time, some point in your life where that inner child within yourself got shut down, whether it be from somebody else or from you, where you, at one point, you were vibrant, you were full of life, you had this energy everywhere you went, and all it takes is for one little thing to happen to take that away from you.
A lot of times we don't know what happened.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Sure.
We don't know. You know how it was a few years ago, I was sitting, and the kids were like 2-4 years old, and they were like really, there was nothing. There was just a window, and they were jumping on the window, and you see in their faces, it was like so much fucking happiness, like dude, like the joy of the joyous. And I was just looking at him, it's like, where did I fucking lose it?
Yeah.
And I have no idea. I have no answer. Seriously, I have no answer. When did I lose it? Did somebody just tell me, you stupid, you ugly, you fucking, you're gonna be a loser, I have no idea where it happened. I really don't.
Right.
And we all have that. But then we gotta forgive ourselves. Because somebody took it away. Or maybe we, like you said, maybe we took it ourselves. Because for me, like, it's funny when we're going in, a lot of time to meditation when it comes out, and I talk to my kids about it a lot. Do not rush to be adult.
Sure.
So what happened is, I'm getting goosebumps. What happened is I was a kid, and then I become adult so fucking quickly. And now I have to act like an adult, but I'm still like, I'm a 53 years old, I'm a fucking kid. I'm a little kid.
You want to go to Universal?
Brother, I'm a little kid.
You look in the mirror, it's like, I feel 16, what is going on?
Yeah. So what happened is, and then I become the adult. It's like, well, this is not right. You cannot do this. Like you cannot do this in this situation. And we become, and we just kind of like keeping like all the stuff within. That's how when we get drunk, the shit comes out, or we get high, suddenly like all this stuff, a lot of time. You know how like a drunk people get angry, or they because there was something happened. But a lot of them are fucking happy. They release their blockage. I was like, oh no, and now they have a permission to drink.
Right.
But can we do that without drugs? Can we do this without alcohol? Can we do that just without just being judged? But the judging comes also from us. And when we're judging ourselves, we're judging others.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're not supposed to fucking sit like that. You picked the wrong chair. I'm supposed to sit there. Why the fuck you wearing the hat? Like, like what about your tattoos? I'm gonna judge you by tattoos. Like, what the fuck? We judging, but the judging usually starts within us. Mm-hmm. That's why I hate so much, because I got so many judgments.
Right.
And then become my blueprint. Why don't we use the gurus, or why don't we use people that we like, we inspire, and use the blueprint, but write our own maps, our own blueprint. You know, what works for Jarek doesn't work for me. What works for you doesn't work for Jarek. But and that's where the work starts. You gotta go deep and figure out, like, hey, you know what? I tried this, it didn't serve me. Let's try this. And just create our own blueprint.
Yeah.
But use somebody that, hey, I think I might like that, and use that person, and then create your own map.
Yeah, you gotta model somebody.
But the problem is, like, I never knew where I want to go. So I have to I'm still building the map.
You're like, which way do I go for? I have no idea. Let's go. And then
Dude,
you chart
my
it as
daughter,
walk.
you know what, like my daughter is, she's now 19. Since she was 10, she knew she wanna be vegetarian. She loves horses, she loves animals, and it's like, and I was for years, and like, you are so lucky, like, you know what you wanna do. I have no idea what I wanna do. And then my kids, my wife is like, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, what do you mean, like, you doing it? No, I just did this for money. Like, I don't know what I want to do. I'm like 40, I was 40, 45. I still don't know what I want to fucking do. Now I do. When so I have to almost kill myself. I got a voice from God to tell me, like, go this way. What the fuck? Now I know this is like, I wanted this. I found finally the purpose and fulfillment. But can you imagine at the age of 50, find your purpose and fulfillment?
And finally figuring out what you want to be when you grow up.
And somebody has it. You know what I mean?
And it's like, it's not just you being put in a situation where you almost died, where you feel like, you know what, I want to live. It's just you being put in a situation where you were in that position where the control was in your hand, where you're like, you know what, I could take my own life, and that's what I think I'm gonna do.
Control again. Control. We want to control.
Exactly, and you don't realize, okay, it's now you made the decision to live, but that decision to live didn't come until you almost died. And now not only do you know that you want to live, but now you finally understand what you want to live for. And that whole journey leading up until the point where you almost took your own life, you didn't know firmly what you wanted to live for, because you wanted to live for so many things. But most importantly, you were trying to create success to escape shame, to escape this, to escape that, to make other people happy. But you never stopped, looked in the mirror and said, Jarek, what's gonna make you happy? You know, Darren, what's gonna make you happy? Edison, what's gonna make you happy? We never look in the mirror and say, am I truly happy with the life I've created for myself? Like you said, be selfish. Being selfish is the first step to being selfless. Because if I look in my mirror and I look at myself and I can't figure out whether or not I'm truly happy, but I know for certain everybody else around me is happy, is it really worth it? No.
Is it everybody around us happy?
And that's the thing. That's the thing. You could be doing so much to help everybody else, but who's to say that they're gonna truly feel happy or feel the impact and effect from you? So that's why we go back to, if you can just inspire one person, that's all we need, right? If you can inspire one person, that one person can inspire others. And at least you know that what you're doing is working. At least you know, okay, my purpose and my mission here is to serve others. My purpose and my mission is to help other people. But most importantly, the only way you're gonna help other people is you gotta help yourself.
That's exactly it. And now we gotta I think we gotta spread the word, we gotta spread the message. And it sucks, sometimes we have 10 views, sometimes we have fucking million, it is what it is. And we cannot just hit it all the time, the fucking lotto.
Yeah, of course.
Dude, I bought thousands of buildings, like billions of dollars in real estate. Dude, I got 2-3 good deals. That's it. Do you want to do one thing viral, like Tommy? It's like, Jarek, I was ready to give up, and what the one thing the shit went viral, and from then on, I'm look at this shit.
Yeah. That's all you need is
You
one
never
opportunity.
know.
It's never an overnight success. Like people talk about overnight success. It's not overnight success. It's all the hard work that eventually led to that moment. of success, but people don't see everything that went on before
And
that.
sitting on the sofa bitching and complaining and, you know, going to the bar, drinking a beer and bitch about your wife and bitch about your life and finding a listener and somebody who can validate your feelings. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, your wife is a bitch. Yeah, life is hard. Yeah, your boss is a fucking douchebag. Yeah, the economy is fucked up. Trump is this, fucking this, Biden is this. Dude. You always have people, even like us, we validate ourselves in that growing journey. Yeah. And it's like, but I better be in this bubble than the other bubble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then our guys are sitting, like some of them will listen, it's like, those fucking guys delusionals, get a fucking beer, get a fucking hookah, go to the fucking bar. You know what I mean? And we are delusional to somebody else. You do realize that.
That's true. That's true.
You know what I mean? And it's, do whatever makes you happy. And then, you know, we are okay to make mistakes.
Yeah.
You know, if I don't have friends, I want to have friends. Suddenly when you have friends and you have, you know, abundance of them and they're all hurting you, it's like, shit, I wish I was fucking alone. We always want something. Like, what the fuck?
Yep.
So, stop texting me.
You're like, damn, maybe I don't need all these friends.
Right? And it's like, shit. More is less.
Yeah, and it's that's a great point you bring up too, and it's just one of those, you know, and
it's funny. I said it. You both like completely like your whole body changed. It's like,
yeah. I mean, you know, we went from having groups of friends to, at this point, I mean, really the only friends that we communicate is with each other. I've known him since middle school, and our past extends far beyond this. You know, we didn't like each other when we first met each other.
Yeah,
I used to be his bully in middle school.
Yeah.
And what I learned is bullying.
Should we beat him up?
Right? No, we should. There's a little pull down the road.
Yeah, let's put him in the fucking canal.
Yeah,
well,
right?
what I learned is bullying for me stems from insecurity.
Oh?
You know, I used to get shoes, I used to get clothes from Salvation Army. So I used to see the way he was dressed, and I used to just be like, oh, you know, you get your stuff from Salvation Army. Mm-hmm. I used to like bully him for looking poor because I was poor. And that's when eventually I got to the point where him and I actually started talking like friends, and I'm like, this guy is cool. Like, I like this guy. Then we lead to high school. We go to high school together. He was basically my only friend in high school. And then when we turned 16, I said, hey, why don't we start a business together? A fitness and sports supplements company. We started selling protein bars. And he was the one that did all the selling because I was afraid of talking to people at that time. He wasn't. He would go up to somebody, and as sketchy as it looked, we used to have protein bars wrapped in aluminum foil. And he'd be like, hey, you want to buy a protein bar? If you were like, what's in that? Is it drugs? And then eventually he goes up to one of my teachers, pulls out an aluminum wrapped protein bar out of a bag and says, hey, you want to buy this protein bar for $1? The teacher goes up to me and says, hey, I know you guys don't mean any bad. I know you guys mean good, but please tell Darren that he cannot go up to teachers or anybody and just pull an aluminum wrapped protein bar out of his bag and try to sell it.
My thing was, if someone says no, on to the next.
But then, you know, we both meshed with our personalities, and I realized, you know, we have a lot more in common than we think. We're passionate about a lot more than we think. Mm-hmm. And we ended up going from, you know, not liking each other to being friends to being best friends to the point where we're inseparable, we're like brothers. But, you know, we go back to a few things that were mentioned, right? We talk about the scenario with having an overwhelming amount of people that sometimes you just want to be alone. And then we also talk about some areas in life where, you know, sometimes having the right guidance is necessary. And the thing about it is, either way, you're never going to please everybody. Because
no.
Negative people will always find a problem with every solution.
But you can please something. You can always please yourself.
That's correct.
I'm not saying jerk enough. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
Just so we're honest here, brothers. You can always do that too. But that's not what I'm saying. But you cannot please everybody. It's pleasing is something else when you are, because that's a return on energy, right? If you want to do good things and it doesn't take energy from you, it doesn't deplete who you are, and you feel like right here, the gut feeling. It's truly, it's like, hey, I'm doing. It is what it is, and there's like, when you start saying, "Oh shit, this motherfucker didn't say thank you." Yeah. Okay, then why I have the feeling? Because if you truly give, you don't need thank you.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Give without expectation.
Yeah. You know?
I mean, no matter what you do, you're always gonna have people that are gonna find something bad about it. Like, you could create content about your journey, about what you went through, and about trying to help other people that are in that similar situation. You're always gonna have someone that says, oh, well, why is he always talking about, the fact that he went through this? Oh, but other people have it worse. Oh, this. And then even like with our content, we teach people how to spot manipulation. We teach people how to deal with mental health. And through our examples of what we teach people are still gonna comment and say, oh, well, I bet you the bald guy is very manipulative in real life, and that guy that's with him is just very innocent. And either way, people are never gonna be satisfied. So
let him be, brother.
Let them be miserable. Let them be, dissatisfied. But as long as we know we're doing what we want to do,
there,
that's the most important.
That's it. And what happened is, in your bubble, when I become a real estate agent, right? And then I'm gonna go to social media right now in a second. Nobody buy a house through me because I didn't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm new. When I start fucking closing, like I have $1 million in sales, in commissions, not in sales, in commissions, suddenly all my friends, all my family coming out of woodwinds, like, what the fuck, Jarek, can I buy the house? Where were you when I started, when I needed you the most? You knew me for 20 years. You know I'm not gonna fail you. Now when I prove myself, my tracking record, you're coming back.
Yeah.
Your people have access to your entire life. They take your access for granted. But there is somebody right now, in freaking Australia listening to this shit, motherfucker, that's what it is. And they relate to us, relate to you, maybe relate to me. That's enough.
Right.
Because because in your bubble, everybody knows.
Yeah.
And they don't want to hear you. They have access to you. They take this shit for granted. Like my kids have access to me. They have access to, like Patrick, my son, love Patrick, because we're neighbors. So what happened is like PBD tell him something, it's like, my dad, Patrick, what the fuck, I told you, like I keep telling this, but Jarek, because I said it.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Are you kidding me? People have access. The social media, what is the best thing? Somebody would never ever have access to you or to the information suddenly does. And that's why we gotta keep doing it. And do not listen to anybody that know you. Do not, it's like, It's like, shit, nobody. It's like, that's what I'm sharing. I'm nobody, and I'm sharing my fucking wisdom or the stuff that I'm going through, the stuff that I'm learning, and that's it.
Yep.
And that's it. When I got invited, like people only want to talk about my money. And I'm like, dude, there's nothing bigger than bankruptcy of your own soul.
Yep.
Right now, I'm fucking I'm not a fucking billionaire, I'm fucking trillionaire fucking inside. And that shit is still growing. So if you want to talk about my wealth, about my value, that's my value. Not right there.
Right, not the material thing.
That shit can be, you know what I mean?
Yep.
You have all the money in the world and still be dying inside.
I keep saying the same thing, monks and Buddhas, they don't go to billionaires, celebrities fucking helping to be happy, but all the fucking billionaires, millionaires, celebrities go to them. It's like, fucking, I'm miserable, help me out. They have nothing. The happiest, the wealthiest people in the world are people in the third world country, people that have nothing, but they have themselves. Read the books, read the Bible, read all the, like, what the fuck?
Self-identity, they know who they are.
Yeah. And we forgot. We're losing our shit, we're losing our identity in chasing something that is fake on the social media.
It's insane. It's crazy. I think one of the biggest challenges that I had to overcome was when I was in the military, because I was in the Army. I broke 3 lower discs in my back, and I have permanent nerve damage in my leg. And we were about to get deployed, and I was getting kicked out for medical reasons. Not kicked out, I was getting medically discharged, but in my head I thought I was like, they were kicking me out, they're wasting me away. And internally I felt like I was letting them all down. I was letting my unit down, the soldiers, I was letting my family down. I felt like I'm not good enough, I was worthless. Like I'm letting all these people down, we're about to go get deployed. We didn't end up actually not getting deployed, but I felt so bad. And I was like, man, and I went from being and I started drinking like crazy, eating a lot of bad food, and I went from 160 pounds to 215 pounds in the time of that I was getting out, because I just couldn't stop, because I was just knocking it back and not worrying about it. This made me feel good. This made me feel happy. I didn't have to look in the mirror and see the person I thought was a failure. And after getting out and being able to be here and hang out with more a little bit with him and being with my fiance, I was able to slowly pull myself out of that mindset. But I was really looking at myself a lot, thinking, man, I'm a piece of shit. I'm a failure. I let all these people down. I let myself down by getting injured, something I couldn't even control. It was just me getting injured, and I hated myself for it. But doing this podcast has helped me a lot to help bring myself out of that mindset, because even though I hate myself, or I did,
don't say that. Your brain doesn't know the difference, brother. Remember, your inner world create your outer world.
Yeah.
Just saying that, like, I still say sometimes I'm a slow learner, and then I cut myself, shut the fuck up, Jarek. I'm stupid. Shut the fuck up, Jarek. Our brain doesn't know the difference. That's why I have to watch even when I do podcasts what I say, because this what unconsciously become my conscious.
Correct.
So we gotta be careful with the words, and whoever is listening, be careful, because I talked like shit to myself for years, and that's where I end up.
Yeah, and
so when your inner critics change, when the inner dialogue,
it started changing when I started seeing the comments of people actually liking me, and I was like, you know what, maybe I do have something to put out there. And he would give me the affirmation too, like, yo, these people love you, you have fans, they actually love you. And I look in there and I put everything past. I was like, you know, I do have things to put out there, and I am a likable person, and I do like myself, and I do want to help other people to not feel like the way that I did. And the crazy thing is, I didn't put myself in the situation to make me feel that way. It was an accident that happened, but I blamed myself for it.
But you become a victim of the accident.
Correct.
For me, the ski accident, when I end up in the hospital, 13 surgeries, 6 months in and out, this was the first time I got a wake-up call that I'm fucking emotionally completely immature. I have zero emotional intelligence. I didn't know how to deal with this shit. I become a victim of the circumstances. And this is what happened. We're not the victim of the circumstances, we're the victim of what we create.
Yeah.
The accident is an accident, but how we react to it.
Yeah, that was the problem.
But, guys, we gotta go, but we gotta finish. But I wanna on the end, we're talking about the inner dialogue, and you need some validation from other people, and, so affirmation, right? I do the affirmation every morning, and it's nice to hear from somebody else, like, shit, dude, you got it. Like, the shit. We need that. Right. Let's be honest. And we need this for our partners. We need this for our wives. We need that, right?
Yeah.
But there is nothing more fulfilling that suddenly you get this shit out of, like, the biggest affirmation, if you are the biggest fan of yourself. And I was a month ago, like, I have this ritual. My boat is in my beach house right now. I have this little boat, and it's like, you see, like, more is less. Now my little boat that I bought for my son for 14 years old is my best toy. Oh, he's gonna be mad. It's my dad. It's like, no, it's not. It's mine. And I go on the ocean for the sunrise, and I was in the middle of the ocean, and I'm like, the truly the validation from myself, like it hit me. Like, again, I was in this flow, in this fucking ecstasy, in a, like, holy shit, I don't need anybody to tell me that I'm loved. I don't need anybody tell me that I'm good. I don't want anybody tell me that I'm spreading the right message, I'm going the right direction. And it was like self-talk. Like, how the fuck did I program myself? I was, oh my God, you fucking knew this shit. Like, how can you teach this? I have no fucking idea. I love the feeling. And then I, of course, immediately call all my coaches, all my friends. What the fuck? I got the best self-validation from myself. I love this motherfucker. I was like a little kid, it was like, we want validation from everybody else. We do. Don't take me wrong. We need this, right?
Yeah.
But the best one, I wish that I could experience this a little bit longer. That really was a month ago. The first time I experienced the truly self-validation.
Right.
And it was like, it was just happened once so far. So I'm work in progress.
Yeah, hopefully it happens again.
So it's like a high. Yeah. So while we wrap this up, I know you gotta go see your wife too. So as we wrap this up, is there any final message that you'd like to share with not only our viewers, but your viewers too, that are gonna come across this video?
You know what? I keep spreading the same message, brother. You truly got everything within you. Go deep and truly start loving yourself. Start asking the question that I think you mentioned 3 times during the whole conversation. I think you also mentioned twice. Figure out who you want to be.
Yeah.
And don't expect shortcuts, and don't get frustrated that you don't know, because you might ask the same question for years.
That's right.
But keep digging. Keep digging. Don't ask, hey, what makes you happy? What makes you happy? Truly, the more you ask, you gotta ask better quality questions, and you're gonna get there. And that's a journey that we have to go.
It's worth it.
And remember, life happened from inside out, not from outside in. And program that's why I call my podcast the inner wealth versus outer wealth.
Right.
Because create your inner wealth. Create your inner world. Your inner world, your conscious, subconscious mind, your heart, your soul, your mind is responsible for everything outside.
That's right.
You guys are sitting here. The only reason we have a conversation here because you created your inner world that we connected.
That's right.
We connected through social media, but we have the same mission. But that's how we hear. I'm getting goosebumps. That's it, brother. I mean, there's nothing else like my message, and it's still the same. We got everything within us. We were born with everything we need. And then consciously, unconsciously, people fuck the shit up for us. Our parents, our bullies, our brothers, our sisters, our coaches, our pastors, our priests, fuck. And I don't know, like we have, during the conversation, we had the talk. When did it happen? When did we lose the love? When did we lost the spark? Go find the spark. Don't get a cheat code. Don't ask anybody else. Find the spark. And enjoy the journey finding the spark.
That's right. Powerful way to end this.
Thank you, brother.
Jarek, thank you so much.
Thank you,
for
guys.
joining us.
No,
thank you so much for welcoming us to your home.
No, thank you for coming, brother.
And as always, it's been a pleasure.
And I got to tell you, whoever is still on, I connected with you guys more than I have friends that have been with me for 40, 50 years, and my family. We have a deeper conversation that I have with quite a few people. And this is this is important. So we are doing the right thing, and it's go there, find yourself, and just you guys just do the work.
Thank you. Appreciate that. This is the first, but likely won't be the last time we.
Definitely won't be the last one, bro. Awesome. Thank you, guys.